And here we are again, y'all. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest opinion or review while trying to watch my mouth. I think it could happen. I don't know if our topic today really gives me any inclination to curse today. But we'll see how that goes. Without further ado, let me introduce my special guest, my co-host, Mrs. Besh. I'll say what's up to her.
Hi.
Yeah, and we are here. You guys make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. Mrs. Best's information is in my description box. Thank you so much for subscribing to us both and being here today. We appreciate you. If you're any newcomers, welcome to my channel. We do this every week. We do unpopular opinions. If you want me to talk about a specific topic where I need to give my opinion, drop it down in the comments. I'll look at it, and you never know. It may make unpopular opinion number 9. So, or actually, I'm gonna say maybe number 12 because this is gonna be over 3 parts. So if you read the caption, it says unpopular opinion number 8, which is 30 years of Diddy. We have allegations, we have media, we have Diddy and signs. So Naya's in the chat with us. Hey Naya, thank you for being here with us today, love. This will be an interesting topic to discuss, no lie. It definitely will, because in all, this is one things that have happened over 3 decades of time. A lot of people relate what's going on with him now, as opposed to starting from the beginning when there's always been an allegation against him or always had some type of crazy event happen where he's tied to it. So it's realistically, I think if we're right now where we are, I just think that the things that he has done allegedly, because I was not there to see any of this, so I have to say allegedly on my channel, it's all catching up to him. Things always catch up. If you guys live in a world where you guys feel like karma isn't real or things don't catch up to you, you are mistaken. Things always catch up. Things always happen. Like you reap what you sow a lot of the times. I've heard even the things that have not made it to the news. We all heard stories about him. It's nothing different than the stories we all hear. So I think in terms of what we're going to do and how I'm going to break this up is we're going to talk about all of the allegations that have made it to news. Fox 5 actually did a nice little catalog of the things he has been alleged that have made media news. And then we're going to talk about in this recap or this unpopular opinion number 8, we're just going to talk about the ones that made headway recently that I think is causing a whole lot more than the allegations in the past. Mrs. Best, is there anything you want to add before I begin?
Um, no, I think I'll wait and just let you get it out. Not to
Awesome.
say yet.
Awesome, y'all. So let's go ahead and share my screen as we normally do. And we're going to get a list of Diddy's over the years. Mind you, this is over 3 decades of allegations or things that he has been accused of, according to Fox 5. I want to shout out Fox 5 for being our, source for today. Thank you for putting this together, because this was not easy to do, to actually read through all of these and try to make a spreadsheet for it. So you guys already had it on your website, so I'm just going to go ahead and borrow this from y'all. So in 1992, Diddy tied to a deadly stampede in Harlem. I was way too young to even think about that. So in 1992, several people were killed and injured during a celebrity basketball game in Harlem, New York. Diddy was one of the promoters of the event. No charge was filed against him. All right. And then we have 1999, Diddy arrested along with Jennifer Lopez. Now, I do remember this. In December 1999, Puff Daddy, that's what he went by at that time, and J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, were arrested in New York City after shooting in a nearby club, according to MTV. The duo were arrested for criminal possession of a weapon and possession of stolen property. J-Lo had held authorities for 14 hours handcuffed to a bench at a police precinct in Midtown, the Daily News reported at that time. Combs was charged with illegal possession of a weapon, but was later acquitted. 2015, Diddy accused of swinging kettlebell at a UCLA coach. In 2015, Variety reported that Diddy was accused of assaulting a UCLA football coach. Combs allegedly swung a kettlebell at the assistant coach. He was arrested at the time and charged with assault with a deadly weapon, but charges were later dropped. In 2017, Diddy sued by former chef for sexual harassment. In 2017, Diddy's former chef, Rueda, sued the mogul for sexual harassment, retaliation, defamation, failure to pay overtime, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, among other claims, according to the Hollywood Reporter. Local outlets reported the lawsuit was settled for an undisclosed amount in February 2019. Mhm. That leads us to this one right here, which caused probably all of this ruckus to begin with. 2023, Diddy accused of subjecting Cassie to years-long abusive relationship. Diddy was accused in a lawsuit of subjecting R&B singer Cassandra Cassie Ventura to a years-long relationship that included beatings and rape. Ventura allegedly in the suit filed against the producer and music mogul in New York federal court that Combs brought her into ostentatious, fast paced, and drug fueled lifestyles not long after she met him and signed it to his label when she was 19 and he was 37 in 2005. Attorney Hoffman said Combs vehemently denies the allegation, calling them lies. Interesting that that's what that was, considering the outcome of that. 2024, Diddy accused sexual assault by a male music producer. In February, music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr. filed a lawsuit against Combs, accusing him of sexually assaulting him and forcing him to perform sexual acts with prostitutes in documents obtained by Fox News Digital. He says Combs subjected him to unsolicited groping and sexual touching of his anus on multiple occasions. And I believe that is all. And I'm not going to bring up the raid thing. I have an article for that, but we'll talk about that later on. Half of this I never knew. This timeline is crazy. Half of that I didn't know either until reading it. When I was reading and doing my research on the things that he has either been criminally charged with or even civilly charged. You know, I think out of all of those, the Cassie thing was probably the thing, as I said, that probably tipped over the hornet's nest with this because now things are coming out of everywhere. And it's actually more because you see how the timeline, there's more, I'm sure, there's more things, but the timeline about it seems that they were all spaced. Cassie coming out, I think, was that even though his lawyer says that those are lies, the thing that gets me is that he settled with her. Now, we know if anyone who studies law, usually when someone settles with someone, they want it to go away. And it's always because they want it, because it's lies and they just don't want it to turn to their name. It's because there may be some truth into what she is saying. Now, my unpopular opinion on her case specifically is I believe her. I do. I believe her in the sense of men like him usually inflict that kind of harm on people because they let the power subside any of human being that they are. And that's where it goes crazy. So I honestly, because if it wasn't true, why would you give her that amount of money? It's one thing
The
to
thing
throw.
is, opinion is not unpopular. Most people, men and women, believe Cassie because I think separate from the fact that most people don't lie about those things, in order for her lawyer, who is a very good attorney, I looked him up,
Yes.
who have been willing to take the case, the lawyer has to see some type of proof that they can beat the case, which usually in this case would be her being truthful. So as I don't think it's an unpopular opinion. I think your opinion is spot on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, friend. But overall, what I'm saying is because you've had people who have denied thinking that she was telling the truth. You've
Oh,
had people that says that in terms of why would she stick in that relationship if that's what she was going through? Why didn't she get out? And when I look at the timeline of her age, 19 years old at the beginning of her career, and then them getting into a relationship maybe a couple years after that, I just feel like, what do you know at 21 and 22? And you have all of this lifestyle, you have all this money, all of this being flashed in your face that this person can get themselves out of anything. We see that. So,
separate from that too, when it comes to abuse, a lot of people don't understand the cycle of abuse or think that they do because they've seen or know somebody who knows somebody who's gone through it. But even if this girl was 51, she could have very well likely stayed with someone who was doing this for so long, because people think abuse is just the I'm hitting you or I'm pimping you out and all this crazy stuff, but really it's an entire grooming process. These women wouldn't stay if at one point these men were, you know, they wouldn't stay if the men were the way that they were towards the end the whole time. So like it's a grooming process and things like that. I encourage everybody to go on a domestic violence website or something of that nature, because they have those charts for people to understand. I think a lot of the people who didn't believe Miss Cassie or don't, they're all entitled to their opinions, but I have a feeling a lot of it is due to the true definition of ignorance. They truly are not knowing of what domestic violence consists of. Some people are going through it and they may not get hit for weeks or months. There's multiple forms of it. So it's this is the Hot Mess Express, but
It is. And not to mention, I wanted to also bring up the celebrity chef. Now, I had heard about that, but I didn't really pay much attention to it, which I should have. But,
no, you should not have.
well, because, one day I was going to be on YouTube talking in my unpopular opinion. But the thing about this, their cases are very similar.
They are.
And he also paid off the chef as well.
You did.
So, in terms of that, like, I just wanted to understand, like, why are people having a hard time? Hi, Jim Bunny. Thank you for joining us today, love. Why are people so quick to defend his name in terms of that? Thank you for catching the live. We appreciate you, love. Why are people so quick to dismiss Cassie, dismiss the chef, in these terms? Like, why is that such a thing? Like, why couldn't we just say, oh, yeah, she's been through this and she's deserving of anything compensated? Because let me tell y'all something. I can almost guarantee, and I'm gonna say allegedly once again to break my chain, I can almost guarantee you that she is taking this money because she needs the help, because she's probably not in the right mind space. Mind you, this woman has a husband and a new child.
Multiple.
So yeah, multiple kids. So in terms of that, that could show up when you're not healed from something, that can show up in a lot of different ways. I think a lot of parents don't heal from the traumas they have. And when they begin to have children and families, they take those traumas and all of the anger on the children a lot of the times. A lot of the times, children are the punching bags for what parents do. It's just by the beat of their own nature. So I honestly think she did this to not only confront it, but also to make sure that she gets the help necessary to move on from this, because that's a long time to be in a situation like that and go through years and years and years. And there has been security guards and other staff that has come to her aid to say, no, this for sure happened to her. She's not lying. So a lot of people, especially a lot of you men, they always say, why does she wait to say something? Why she didn't say something back then? Hey, Shayna, thank you for joining me, love. If y'all don't do nothing else, all these new people, I know I'm about to get in this live because we are talking about a very big name, like my Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith. Y'all see this name on the screen right here, Shayna underscore MCD. This right here, this is the new one on the YouTube that is going to make us all rich and famous. I guarantee you, because she has always shouted me out, always supported me, and I need to do the same. So shout out to Shayna underscore MCD, always supporting me, always being there. I had fun in your live last night. Can't wait for another one. So yes, y'all subscribe to my girl now. Make sure y'all see this name. Make sure y'all go to her page and subscribe. So moving forward from there, where was I? Because I got excited when I saw Shayna. So moving forward, we were talking about Cassie. We were talking about what she's gonna have to intern. So with Diddy in this whole situation, for him to say in that article that they have denied the claims of what Cassie is saying, that's almost similar. You know who this reminds me of? This reminds me when Michelle A came out with her movie on Lifetime and Dr. J challenged the abuse. Mind you, Michelle A has been saying this man has abused her since the 90s. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't want Dr. J coming after me. Allegedly. And why is it when she puts out a movie where there's images of it that you now want to say she's lying? When she is set up I can recount countless interviews. She even went on a reality show and admitted to him being physically abusive with her. But you know what people did, especially in the industry? I remember watching an interview. I don't know who the rapper was. He was all like, "Oh, she was a hoe anyway, so it didn't even matter." And it was like, so because she was that, she had to get abused. Because Cassie was young, she had to get abused. Like, I'm trying to figure out like where society goes with this when they put out crazy things like that. Oh, echo, echo, echo. So, yes, what do you feel when people challenge allegations that people put under people with big names like Dr. Dre or Diddy and things of that?
I think it's strange for one, but also because I am a psych nerd, it's also fascinating, and I want to conduct like qualitative and quantitative studies on these people. It doesn't because I think a lot of times, most of the people from what I've seen online, whether they are for or against, believe or don't, whoever side they're on, it seems to be the side of who they have what we call confirmation bias. Whoever they like. If people grew up loving Diddy, or if Diddy is close to somebody that they like, then they're going to defend him off the strength of something else. So I think that's a piece of it. I think the other piece of it is Naya's comment. Is that Naya's name? It is. Hi, Naya. It's just sickening. Personally, as somebody who is, I've dealt with domestic violence at some time before I got with Mr. Biz. And then I've also been a sexual assault victim. So I think it's the worst thing you can do to someone who's been through something like that, or traumatic, or any form of abuse, is to tell them or inference like as if that it's not true or that they're lying. Most people don't choose to lie about things like this, and I think the age of social media is bringing out all the crazies that we normally wouldn't see, or who normally wouldn't get a platform in terms of normal people. Or a lot of these people right now who are famous simply for who they slept with or who they got a kid with. I think all of these things play a part in how people feel. But thank you, Shayna. I went to years of therapy, y'all, so that's why I can talk about it and be smooth. But I think more so people are just forgetting that we're in a new time. Social media is causing people to come up out the woodworks. This also causing people to think that everybody cares about their opinions. In situations like this, I think videos like yours, where it's unpopular opinions, are the best thing, or maybe even podcast spaces to discuss what people felt. But like the belief system that people have on stuff that has to do with abuse, it just annoys the hell out of me. Just if you don't believe the person who is the alleged victim, then instead of commenting negatively online, just be silent and be still, let it play out, and then comment. You know what I mean? But people did this with the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez thing, with the was she shot in her foot, or she did her friend dirty so she deserved to be shot. All these crazy things. It's just sometimes it's good to sit and be still and wait stuff out, especially when the court is there. And that's where the people giving their like opinions in a way that's just like not nice. But then on the other hand, the people defending Diddy, I just feel like you should be careful defending anybody who's accused of something so heinous. Like, especially when it comes to men. Like, most of the men in my life have never been accused. No one's ever alluded that they're abusive or creepy or anything like that. So where there's smoke, there's fire. That's how I feel also. Especially
So the people who accused 50, hold on one second.
bro. I think it's the echo, y'all. I heard the echo. I heard the echo. Well, since I'm here, y'all be sure to subscribe to James's channel. Just click the button.
Okay, sorry about that, y'all. So enters when you get people who believe these, believe I'm gonna say believe the predator. I'm gonna say allegedly once again to protect my channel. We have people who believe the predators and believe that none of this actually happened. What is the first thought that comes to your mind? Because I'm gonna say for me, the first thing that comes to my mind when people protect predators is you're a predator as well. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when you protect a predator, is that you're a predator as well. Because there is no reason, if someone says out their mouth, this person did this to me, that you automatically say, oh, that's not true. I know them and they would never. And truth be told, I'm gonna tell y'all like this: nobody ever really knows a person until you've either lived with them or dealt with them in a way that is not common. That's how I'm going to put that. So, you know, multiple people, multiple accusations over decades, and he still has people not on his payroll that are defending him. Yeah,
Thank you. That
yeah.
part, because y'all not even paid to be defending that. And I think if people had something to lose in terms of business wise or where the opinion of others can impact your financial status or something, they might take a second and say, hey, I need to step back. That's why all of these celebrities, the big ones that have been listed in these documents for the federal
Hmm.
government is trying to draw against them, are silent. They're not saying anything. From Ellen to Jay-Z, they are quieter than the
They're
church.
quiet. I'm saying the person who's making all this noise out here at these internets, and it's not in his favor, it's actually against him, is 50 Cent. When I tell you he has things all over the place coming at Diddy, I'm just like, man, don't ever let me get on that man's bad side. Because
He's
I don't
funny,
know.
but
I don't know if I can handle that. I'm like, look, man, look. I apologize. Leave it alone. But no, what I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to be funny because the things that he's, alleging are not funny. So I'm not going to laugh at that. I'm just laughing at the behavior, y'all. I promise I'm not laughing at the allegations.
listen, 50
But
Cent is petty as hell. And it's
mhm,
funny.
yes. Yes, yes, absolutely. So I actually wanted to now detour the next 14 minutes on people who have been signed to him and have lost careers behind them. We know he had that show, Making the Band. I don't know if any of y'all ever watched Making the Band, but I was a huge fan of that show as a teenager because I didn't know any better. I didn't know the things that he would make them do. Like I didn't really put two and two together. Like, oh my god, that is crazy. Like I can remember the first season of Making the Band where he made them go get a pie in that freezing
Mhm.
weather, and it was so many miles away. And I just remember thinking to myself, oh my god, that is so
Nasty ass
abusive.
cheesecake.
Yeah,
Ain't no way. You want me to
that
sing a song? You want me to spit a rap? What that got to do with pie?
I'm trying to figure that out too. But that right there, I remember reading or someone came out with something that said that, and this is allegedly, y'all, I'm saying allegedly, he would ask people, mainly men, to perform fellatio for their careers. And then like they would say, he was like, how bad do you really want it? Kind of situation to exert power over people. We were all victims of being fans of Making the Band.
Right.
We really
Listen,
were. Like, we need our asses whooped for that one because
be
our
on the
mama should
phone
too.
on the three-way
Okay.
calls talking to
Right,
people.
because we used to talk about I'm telling y'all, especially when Daddy Kane came out, that's when I really was a fan of that. But when it came to them, the what was the boy group called?
Day
Day
26. And then
26.
he also had the band. I think that was the first one. The
Oh,
band.
yes, the rappers with the one singer. Yes, I remember that. I don't remember all their names, but I remember that as well. They did some crazy stuff too. Like they did crazy.
That's the people who had to do all that
The
crazy
pie, okay. Get
with
the
cheesesteak
okay.
pie. I said, oh Lord. She said, "O Town." Ooh, y'all got to go look it up because we can't even say all the things that we would want to
Yeah,
say.
I can't say all. Oh my God, Bunny, why you bring that up for my? Oh, I can't, y'all. I can. I want to so bad because I had totally forgot. I didn't forget. I'll never forget that. But I can't. YouTube be crazy. I'm telling you, they be strict. I can't even do that.
I just got in trouble with YouTube again. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, they too strict on what you could talk about, what you can't talk about. Y'all, we trying to monetize, but that would make a good Patreon conversation. When I get my Patreon, Jim Bunny, I promise you, I will talk about that because I definitely want to bring that up, but I can't bring it up here. I just can't. Oh, dang.
But
Yes.
allegedly, a lot of the accusations with who said that? Somebody, Shayna commented, heard he would ask men to do certain things. Allegedly, the reason he does that is because that's how he got into the industry after he dropped out of
Oh,
Howard. Because he went to Howard. Shout out to the HBCUs, but child, he dropped out of college, needed to make it, and apparently that's how he came up doing things, adult
oh.
things, allegedly, because
Allegedly,
I
y'all.
was
This is my channel.
there
Allegedly.
when these things were happening. I wasn't even thought of. I was born in 1992, so please don't come for me. I ain't
But
got
here's the thing, but to me, I've always heard of that being a practice. Like I've always heard like certain CEOs of businesses would do that to exert their power over, any of the new up and coming, whether if you're an artist, a worker, anybody, it's usually placed in how bad do you want this career? How bad do you want to be this? How bad do you want to be big? And it always comes at a price, and that's the price, and that's predatory behavior. That's why I'm saying it's, oh Lord, it's just sad that if you think, like, let's say even for the 30 years he's been in this media game, let's just say over that is 3 decades of lives that potentially you have either ruined or you have either, have troubled in some way, all because you wanted to exert your power over somebody. That's
Mhm.
insane. Like that's insane to me that, that happens and that goes on. Like I can't even imagine like even the small fraction of someone coming up to me talking about how bad do you want this, because I don't want no career bad enough where I have to sell my soul to you. I don't want no career that bad
That's
enough.
the part that I think a lot of people are missing. Like, how important
Hmm.
really is the dollar? Because I was taught coming up, money is the root of all evil, but it's something that is a necessity, but we have to love it with care.
Hmm.
That's just, ooh, I just quoted my nana, but that's how I was raised. A lot of people, even though they may not value or want to say, like, oh, money is this, it's so important. Like, it is because we need it to live. We're in a capitalistic ass country. So, but to be willing to do some of the things that some of the people who are now coming out and speaking out are saying allegedly happened, or things that Diddy even allegedly did, to me is wild. It's wild. But then there are some people like Aubrey O'Day, Don Richards, Kalina White, I think. I can't remember the girl
Kalina
last name.
Harper.
Harper. Where did I get
Hmm.
White from? Anywho, but there's multiple artists. Almost every artist that's ever been on his label says that they have not been paid correctly. They say that he impacted their career. They don't make money off of they music. Like,
They'll
so
get any royalties. Okay.
I'm not surprised. I think that Diddy, and probably not just him, but multiple other people will be facing allegations and in the hot seat, and the government's looking at them and all these crazy things. I feel like that's going to happen more ever since that billionaire went down. The nasty old man that was touching everybody. What is the name of his?
Harvey Weinstein.
Yes, the guy
Hmm.
BSing with the cane when he was in
Yes.
perfect health before going in.
Hmm.
Him. I feel like ever since he went down, and then there's Weinstein, Epstein. Is that the other one? I feel like if you can take down the people who are literally, he owned production companies, movie companies, he was leading it. If they can come down, I think now everybody's up for grabs. Whoever has done stuff, what goes on in the dark always comes to light. And I'm just watching with my kettle corn because my
Hmm.
goodness.
Well, see, what it was interesting about this person here is if you guys watch the movie Scream 3,
Mhm.
it literally depicts him. Literally. And they try to excuse it in the movie. Go back and watch it. Yeah, don't take my word for it. Watch Scream 3 and listen to the actual storyline. It literally, there's a producer who makes the shots. They knew a woman, and it was like a whole story. Yes, it literally is the depiction. He's the executive producer. So I don't know if he was just trying to mirror and trying to make send a message. Like, I don't know what that was. But yeah, watch Scream 3, y'all, and y'all see. That's why they don't really talk about that one that much, because it literally is a depiction. So yeah, go back and watch it. And see that his name is actually in the credits as an executive producer. And remember, if you guys know anything about show business, executive producers have to read the script and pick it up for it to even exist.
They do.
So yes, but well, yeah, I am a Scream Saga. Unfortunately, I'm a huge fan of that. I love it. But that one right there, when I was actually watching a YouTuber on here, her name is Alonda Parker, and I remember her saying that because I was thinking it in my mind. I was like, "Am I crazy?" And this was right around the time where she did the recap of that movie, that all this was happening. And I was like, am I tripping, or was this? And then when she said it at the end of the movie, I was like, oh wow. So they tell on themselves. They really do. They really tell on themselves of the things that go on in the business. And because we are looking at it as like from a fan perspective, we're not picking up on the social cues of it all. And I think that's another thing about Diddy's. We don't pick up on the social cues. He has had, oh, especially on Making the Band, where we actually could see it televised, he has had abusive behavior. But we're not looking at the world's not looking at it in the sensitivity that these are people as well that want to be famous because you're providing them this opportunity that could be life changing for them. But it comes with so many conditions. And the conditions was he was body shaming on there. He was also being, abrasive in his personality where he was yelling at even his employees. Like remember.
Of narcissism, which everybody has accused him of being a narcissist who has, said that he's done things. They can't just commit their bad, behavior or bad, act without showing it off some way, kind of like how serial killers like a token. Like it's
Yes.
similar to that. I learned that in criminal psych. I said, ooh, you got to be careful with narcissists. They're like, I like to call them silent killers.
But even with that being said, like, because that is a very true statement, y'all. People always tell on themselves. So when we look at making the band and we're seeing him and we're seeing how bad these people want it, and we're looking at the performances, are we really paying attention to him and Lori Yang getting into it over something that was very small and petty? Are we really looking at him dismantling a group because they're becoming bigger than the label that he has or any artist he's ever had on that label? Are we really paying attention to him gutting people's lives and careers solely based on his ego? Are we really paying attention to that? Are we just paying attention because we see all of our hit songs when we were in high school and we're dancing to them? We're not looking at it. And I think as adults, we look at it better now because we understand it. We understand because we've been through life experiences that teaches us to understand if people come in sincerity and is really sincere with the intentions behind us. We understand that, right? Because we all work jobs, we all know what that's like. So yes, but as teenagers, no, we didn't understand that. So that's why when I'm watching, it's hard for me. It would be hard for me to watch making the band any of the seasons, whether it be the band, whether it be Day 26, or whether it be Danny D. Kane. It will be hard for me to watch any of those shows now because I'm going to pinpoint and I'm going to see exactly what's been put in all of these allegations all this time, I'm sure. Oh, okay. Did he always look like a creep mouth hanging open like he got a few screws loose?
I
No,
always
but
thought he looked creepy too. Just like a side note, even as a little girl, I used to tell my dad. I actually met him a few times as a little girl because I danced professionally as a child, and I would tell like he's creepy. I would be like, I want my dad here. I would tell my mom you need to go somewhere else because you always have to have a parent with you when you're in performance or anything as a child. But he made me uncomfortable. He was weird, and a lot of the other girls that I danced with felt like he was weird. And one of them did a little YouTube video on it. So I don't know. He's weird, but he does look like a creep. And like in person is worse.
Oh wow. Never seen him in person, never really, I don't really have a desire to see him. I've never been to a concert of his, never really did anything because he wasn't like his. I think I've only enjoyed one album that he had, and it was
How
the
many features?
album. All of them were features. All of them were features. All of them were features, and it was the one where it was the year that Keisha. I think this was '07.
Oh, I know which album you're talking
That's
about.
the only album I really enjoyed because I enjoyed that song.
Yeah, yeah.
But even then, even with Keisha Cole, we saw him
She
in the
was in
studio with
tears
her.
trying to sing that song.
Yeah,
In
like
tears.
it was. Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, like you are abusing this lady, and she didn't sound bad any of those times. And when he was singing it, it was horrible. So it was like, okay, so you're trying to lead by example, yet you have this woman who's an actual singer, and you're trying to tell her how to sing it, but you can't even do it yourself. So it was like, yeah. So that was another thing. I remember that, man. Like, so I'm telling y'all, like, as far as these allegations go, I have to be real with y'all. This is like there are clues in the whole text of this. Like there's nothing that I feel like would exonerate him from not coming off as these people are alleging because there's clues in the context. There just is. So for 30 years of that, so how this is going to work, you guys, and how I'm going to lay out the whole unpopular opinion, Diddy. So 9 and 10 will be Diddy. What we're going to do is we're talking about the allegations in this one. Next tomorrow's is going to be a little bit more in depth as far as I think I'm going to bring up a couple of interviews that some of the people have said about him and kind of reading the context of what that means in their experiences. So we can kind of put that in context. And then the last one, I'm going to put the rate of what he was recently in the news for was, the rating of his homes and everything in his businesses. I'm going to put that in the third one. And then we will kind of group up to see how we still feel. And I think the final question we have is, what do you think? I think will be the outcome of all of this. Do you think the outcome is he's going to get off scot free like he did the other allegations? Because a lot of those were dropped. Or do you think he's going to seriously be on some time, like maybe Bill Cosby or R. Kelly? So we'll leave that question for the last recap because I want to make sure I know everyone's opinion. But feel free if you think you already can kind of idea based on any knowledge you have, put it in the description or put it in the comment section. I'll read it and make sure I comment back. But I'm gonna say this real quick before I end the live. Please be respectful to everybody's comment. We are all entitled to our opinions. You don't have to agree with my opinion. You don't have to agree with Mrs. Best's opinion. But we would like everyone to be respected here. Everyone's welcome to comment. Everyone's welcome to say how they feel. But please do not reply to their comments telling them they're wrong or they're whatever society tells us in sensitivity, because I do not tolerate that on my channel. I will let you know. It's not acceptable here. We all can have opinions. No one's opinion is wrong. Just saying. Mrs. Best, before we end the live, is there anything you would like to add on to this?
Y'all behave in them comments and stop emailing me.
I will put her out. I will put her business out there, but I'm not going to do that. But you know who you are.
Yes, and I feel like they're watching.
Oh, I know she. Well, she hasn't watched. Oh, I said she. Damn, I already put it out who it was. But that individual, I know you're gonna see this at some point. Please be respectful of my friend because I don't play with you.
It. No, she was mad at you. Like, what about? I'm not James's mommy. James is actually older than me. Everybody, his birthday soon too, y'all. So don't be afraid to send him love. But
my birthday is soon. It's on Thursday.
Very soon, y'all. Let me know. Let me know. I will happily share his cash app. I will happily share it for you, friend. Go straight to him. But yeah,
I won't do that naturally. I'm just not that kind of person. So
yeah. Yes. But let's be respectful in the comments. We're just here to have fun, talk, and hopefully make something out of it. That's all. It's an unpopular opinion. It's an opinion.
Exactly. Unpopular opinion.
Yeah, love them.
Yes. Thank you, Naya. I appreciate it. I actually will be live on my actual birthday. So yes, I will be live on my actual birthday because I am doing the unpopular opinion number 10.
Oh, you're doing it on your birthday?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We got to send you a cake or something. Buy his book too. That's a great gift.
Absolutely, especially because I know Jim Bunny finished it. I know she's waiting for book number 2. Thank you, Jim Bunny, once again for that. I enjoyed reading that comment. That actually made me smile. Actually made me pick up the second book because I'm ready to send it off. Thank you, Shayna. I appreciate you guys. Y'all, I am turning 34 this year, and oh my gosh, I feel so old.
No.
Should I not feel old?
No, not in your 30s. No, you still have so much life. No. No. She said she bought Blue Ridge.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Yes, I appreciate Blue Ridge. Honestly, is such a. It's funny because let me give y'all a real. Unfortunately, Diddy has to catch this positive vibe right now. But Blue Ridge actually was a dream that I had one time, and if you guys don't know my story of how I became an author, to prevent me committing suicide, I would have these dreams and I would write about them and it would distract my mind from me completing that. So Blue Ridge was a dream that I had one time and it was so crazy because I was like, wait, I don't remember anything that happened. But I just continued on and on and on and on. And eventually I finished it in 3 months. It was the most craziest thing for me. So I love that book so much because it taught me about my creativity. It taught me that in terms I am meant to do this. Like that book was the reminder. It's crazy. It's an interesting story. It's interesting altogether. But it was the book that taught me that I was meant to do this and that it didn't matter. My life is still valuable to on this earth. Yes. Thank you, Naya. Thank you, Jim Bunny. Thank you guys so much. That really means a lot. But I had to share that with you guys, especially since you bought Blue Ridge. I do appreciate that so much. I hope you enjoy it. It is different. It is for teens. It's not for adults realistically, but my father enjoyed it. He loved it more than Fraternity Row. A lot of people, I get a mix. They either love Blue Ridge more than Fraternity Row, or they love Fraternity more than Blue Ridge. So, but it's meant for teenagers. It really is. So, you guys know any teenagers, share it to them because I do talk about a lot of teen issues, especially surrounding relationships, sex, also coming out as well. Lots of different things. I do talk about that in that book. So I hope that that helps anybody with kids. Once again, I'm going to start putting my books in my description box. I need to start doing that. I keep forgetting because I
You
feel like
don't?
I don't. I know. I feel like this is not the avenue that I'm promoting. I'm promoting something different, a different personality. But that's it, you guys. I appreciate you once again. We will be here. I actually will have two videos coming tomorrow. I'm going to have an unpopular opinion, and we're also going to do an updates video because lots has happened in Bravo land lately. So I need to go ahead and talk about that with y'all and share some updates that has gone on. And
And then we have
also,
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta too.
and we have Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as well. Thank you, Jim. But I appreciate that. Yes, please give me your feedback on Blue Ridge. I can't wait for you to read it, and I hope you enjoy. All right, you guys. But thank you once again. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here. It was a pleasure. We will see you tomorrow for Unpopular Opinion number 9, 30 Years of Diddy, part 2, and then we'll go forward from there. I love all of you guys. Be safe, be happy, and enjoy life. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.